Well, we're 12 days into hurricane season, and currently the barometric pressure is 29.95 and falling, and the dew point is 79.2 and rising. So hurricane season straight up. And we recently had gone up to Atlanta to see the 6,000 gallon. Gio's up there right now diving today. And oh, another thing I ended up getting in the mail was this great notification from the German police wanting to say that I'm a wanted guy driving the rental car 122 kilometers an hour in a 100-kilometer-an-hour zone. I was driving about 11 miles per hour over the speed limit, and I'm gonna get a ticket in the mail, and 6 car rental just hit me up for 30 euros. So too fast, you're gonna get a ticket in Germany. Back at Atlanta, the aquarium is just doing stunning. It's just growing in so extensively, it's off the charts. Corals are overgrowing. We've been harvesting back the Monty caps because they're growing so wildly. The fish population is significant. There's well over 200 fish in the aquarium. We even have candy baslets that come out at times. We've got 4 powder blue tangs. We have the original 10 yellow tangs that we put in there well over 6 years or close to 6 years ago. There's flamingo tangs now that are about 16 inches. They were put in only literally at 2 inches. Just a plethora of significant fish. There's a green table acroporid that is just gotten massive. It's this big now. The Tunzi pumps have been running on there for quite some time. The large master flows from Tunzi that are in there. And you can even see the pink Seriatopora hystrix up on the upper left of the aquarium, how there's curve in the coral because it can't grow into the massive flow. So the coral's kind of growing around the flow. I've even seen, when I was in Europe before, coral that grew completely around with flow going through it. So the coral will continue to grow like that, and we continue to harvest a lot back out of the aquarium because it just overgrows and it gets too close to the glass and it interacts with us servicing the aquarium. Gio's in siphoning the bottom of the aquarium today. This is typically what we will do once a month. We'll acclimate some marine life into the aquarium, normally some critters and potentially a new fish or 2, and then siphon the whole bottom of the aquarium. That aspect of siphoning the bottom of the aquarium is removing the detritus that builds up into the reborn material that's in there, which is the larger size pieces of parites, dead coral skeletons, and that gives us a really nice biota on the bottom of the aquarium. There's been a lot of upgrades and changes over time to the aquarium. Of course, we added a lot of apex over time. We added even more of the master streams from Tunzi. There is 5 of them running in the aquarium at this time, and the skimmer motors have been replaced for the DELTECs. There's a new sulfur reactor there. There's a denitrifier on the unit that's also a DELTEC that is now operating on the system. And recently we went in, and this has been a 6-month process, to add 3 new 500-gallon water exchange tanks down in the basement of the residence. That whole system is a series of pumps and mixing vats, transfer lines, and flow lines so that we can be mixing 500 gallons of salt each, and then 1 500-gallon of just RODI water. So there's a whole brand new RODI systems. There's a sink down there, and getting that room together so that we're now able to transition from 250-gallon water change tanks to 2 500-gallon water change tanks is really going to help. One of the things you recognize with a large reef aquarium over time is that water changes are good. I've seen tremendous amount of aquariums, really all across the world, reef aquariums. And one common factor you'll find out is that there's a lot of the really extensively successful ones will do water changes, and that can be upwards of 10% a week. So an aquarium of that size at 6,000 gallons, certainly doing a 500-gallon brand new Reef Mix Tropic Marin water change on that aquarium once a week is a really good idea. So at the end of the month, you have about 2,000 gallons changed on a 6,000-gallon aquarium. So you're using about 1/3 of new water. You're replacing trace elements there. You're helping to buffer the system with the new salt and alkalinity. And you're really adding a significant amount of water change. In your aquarium, you're adding organics. you're adding food, you're adding trace elements, you're building up nitrogen and phosphorus into the system. Ammonia is a byproduct of the fish eating, and that's adding to the bioload of the system. So your algal scrubbers might be uptaking it, your GFO might be absorbing the phosphates. But at the end of the day, a really robust water change system is a real big benefit. And 6 years ago, we didn't really have that space available. That space became available to us, and the owner allowed us to go ahead and expand the water change system to make it better for everybody. And having that ability on demand to change it really makes a massive difference. When you get on top of the aquarium and the pumps are off and you look down, it's like looking at a coral reef aquarium somewhere off in Fiji or in the Maldives. It's the same thing. When you look at these massive reef aquariums at, only 6,000 gallons, it's still a really significant aquarium in your home for anybody. And I can't say enough about how fabulous it is to be in this tremendous position for the entire team to be building some of the finest marine reef aquariums and jellyfish aquariums in all of North America. And the excitement is just like it was years ago when I first started. It's just fascinating to be able to grow thriving coral reef exhibits like you've seen here with the 6,000 gallon we have up there in Georgia. So remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.